Hello, thanks for checking out my channel, Basic Ball Joint Builds. It's not really a doll so much as an action figure. There's a lot of accessories and a lot of things that just don't come off the figures. This was actually my first real go at polymer clay. I built two tiny little figures to see if I liked it and if it would work, and oh my god, that's when I became addicted. It was actually a member from a different group that had told me that I should maybe play with this stuff. All my girls always have accessories, lots of accessories. These accessories actually are held on by magnets, and it makes it so I have to swap them in and out. There's no holsters, there's no sheath for the swords or knives like I do with my current ones. And even the beads used in the joints are a lot different than my last four that I've made. I actually started using a double ball beam to make elbows and knees to give me a better range of motion and a more than 90 bend. Although all these little pieces, it makes it look really cool. It really does. I like being able to switch it out. It's kind of like how they did it with like the Warhammer type characters where you pop the open and closed cases on. It's where I got the idea from. One of the reasons I got into doing all the accessories was there's different dolls I build that I build like real armors, real bows, real swords for. And I didn't want to have to do it on a body that I bought and customized. I'm all about actually doing everything myself whenever possible. Little gun. The case she's standing on can actually hold all these little things, the little black stand that they're on. They're actually a screw top on them. So each of my dolls ends up having one of them just to hold all their gear. Makes it kind of look like they're on display too. Because I use an opening and closing hand to attach my cables and elastics, it makes it so that they can hold on to items really easily. Talking about items, I wanted her to have a breakdown and interchangeable firearm. Scopes, silencers, different barrels, just so that I could have just one gun that did everything. Originally I was also going to make her a hockey bag to put all this in. I just never got to it. I made the hockey bag and my daughter said, "I want it," so she got it. Ta-da! No, I don't spend a lot of money. This is something I do fairly cheap. The polymer clay is about it, as evidence in my cardboard backing behind the characters. My chicken McNugget box. I think next time I would definitely make a mold so I could just build all the different guns. Machine pistol. But there's a problem with using magnets to hold all the little pieces on. They don't take much jarring. You touch them, they fall off. You move the character, they fall off. And I like playing a little bit with stop animation, so that was not good. But it did make it so that I could figure out how to do it for the next. Now, when I built this little case pouch on her back, I didn't do my regular cloth tape method. I actually made the belt out of polymer clay. If I would have known about cost clay, it would have been a lot better. Because, yeah, I snapped this. I had to repair it right there. But you really can't tell that I had to, so I kept it just that way. My heads always come off and on. I always have multiple hairs for them, or helmets. Having the head come off and on a peg actually makes everything so much easier when I'm dealing with them and building them. And later on, when I start getting into actually making more soft goods, it'll make it a lot easier to put clothing on. Now this is my run gun girl. Her helmet, there's that better than 90-degree bend. The legs do just about a 90. This is because of the bead that's used in the joints. These ones have beans, like it doesn't look like a pair of small balls that have been glued together. It hinders a little bit of the movement, but not much. She has some decent crunch. There's no lateral left to right crunch. It will break those clip cases that she's wearing underneath her arms. It'll break them right off. I've had to glue these ones on a couple times now. One thing you'll notice is I usually only use about 3 basic colors. There'll be some accents and stuff, but that's because I see in black and white. I don't see color at all. So forming these characters with color keeps me from messing up paint jobs. Now, she has some wicked accessories, but wait for it. This is her run gun. It weighs almost 5 pounds in polymer clay. When I first made it and thought about making it, I wanted it so it could stand and move and stuff, but no. Each one of these legs weigh more than a turkey leg at Thanksgiving. But I have a full range of motion, and I made it with like hydraulic looks and stuff. There's my little, I got a gun tote there, and some multi-barrel cannons on top. Playing with details was actually kind of fun with this. These are the foot pegs for her feet. They move. Little storage rack. And her handlebars. It is just astounding how much this thing actually weighs, though. But I guess it's technically a ball joint doll, isn't it? It's got legs that move. But that's kind of why I see my figures mostly as action figures and not dolls. I actually planned on making a whole fleet of vehicles, one for each girl. But that takes too much time and way too much cost. Next time I'd build this, or something like this, I would definitely use XPS foam, balsa wood. I have an epoxy paste I like to play with that's very similar to JB Weld, which I've actually made a whole doll out of that paste. But she needed a ride. The run gun jockey. It's kind of why she has that jockey hat on. I actually have some tinfoil in some of the bigger parts, like the thighs and the body she's sitting on, but realistically, it's still got it way too heavy. I wish it would have been lighter. But still, I think it's very, very cool. But it's very floppy. But I do love how these dolls move, though. When I was growing up, the first action figures I played with, yeah, they weren't even close to what this could do. Although I make it so all my gear goes on just as easy as it comes off. That's almost just as important. Well, thank you for checking out my builds. This one didn't have a tutorial. My first 5 dolls don't have tutorials, which is a shame. I wish I would have recorded a lot more as I was making them. But for all my figures that I'm building now and forward, each will come with a tutorial of how it was built and a show-off video of the doll. If there's anything that you'd like to see, give me a drop. See how many more we can bring to life.